Hi, everyone. It's Coach Melissa here on behalf of the COVID-19 Oversight Committee at Rito Skating Club. I'm here with an update on our current protocols and also to welcome all of our can skaters back to the rink finally. We were super excited back in December when thought we were going to be able to start can skate in January. And of course, the latest lockdown delayed that. But we're definitely looking forward to the next 4 weeks in our can skate program. So we'll start by just going over a walkthrough of what it'll be like in the arena. So whether you start on Saturday or Monday, Margot, as well as one of our volunteers, either Kathy or Jennifer, will be at the door to meet you. So we ask that the can skaters arrive between 20 minutes and the start of their session, 20 minutes prior to and the start of their session. Unfortunately, we cannot enter the arena any more than 20 minutes before our session to eliminate crossover with other groups. So when you arrive, you'll come up to the front doors and one of our volunteers will wave you in. At that point, they will ask you screening questions. So they'll go over the COVID screening questions with both the skaters as well as the spectators. Now, each skater is only allowed to have one spectator with them. So that is one parent that can enter the arena with them. Due to the numbers, we cannot guarantee that if you have to bring a sibling of your skater with you, that we will be able to let them into the facility that day. So we ask that you please just have one parent per skater come to the arena. So when you come in after you've been screened and checked in, you'll get your name tag and you'll head to your assigned dressing room. Parents can help your skaters put on their skates in the dressing room, and then you're going to wait there. Once we're ready for these skaters to come out to the ice, either one of our program assistants or one of our coaches will come to the dressing room to get the skaters. The skaters will then head to the ice and the parents must head up into the stands. Unfortunately, this year, parents are not allowed to stand in the lobby, so please dress warm. There is heat in the stands, and there's a little button on the wall on your way into the stands that you can press to turn on the heat. Our session will look fairly similar. However, there will be significantly less skaters since we do have a maximum of 18 skaters allowed in our Can Skate program. During the session, you will notice a couple differences. So we don't have as many toys. So we will still have all of our pylons out there, and our coaches will be responsible for putting out our pylons and picking up our pylons, as we ask that the skaters do not touch the pylons during the session to avoid contact between people. However, we won't have as many toys out there. At the end of the session, the skaters will exit the ice and they'll head back to their dressing rooms. At that point, parents can leave the stands and go meet their skaters in their dressing rooms to take off their skates. When you leave the dressing room, instead of heading back to the lobby, you're going to turn to your left and you're going to go to the end of the dressing room hallway and go right into the stairwell. And there's a door there on your left to exit the building. It's very well labeled, so as long as you follow the directional arrows, you'll be good to go. But if you have any questions, our Can Skate coordinator will be there the first week in the lobby, helping out, addressing parent questions, helping direct people, and our volunteers, coaches, and program assistants are always available for questions as well. So that's the gist of what will happen when you're there and how you'll move. Now I'm going to go over a couple of the protocols in detail. Okay, so if you're on our website and you go to our homepage, you'll notice that here you can see our COVID-19 protocols. So if you click there, it takes you to our protocols page. Here we have a link to the Skate Canada protocols and the Skate Ontario protocols, as well as our personal club protocols. Now, everything on the Skate Canada and Skate Ontario website that's applicable to your skater has been incorporated into the club protocols. So here we typically put an update with anything that's changed since the last update. Our last update from the City of Ottawa was on February 12th, and those are the protocols we're going off of at this time, and that is based on the fact that the City of Ottawa is currently in the orange restricted zone. Please watch your emails if we change colors or just tweak because our protocols are often changing. So here you can click on the club protocols. At the beginning of this, I mentioned that we have an oversight committee, and our oversight committee is made up of myself as well as Sue Stanitsky, who's one of our parent volunteers and board members, and we are the co-chairs. And Jan Kalnan is our pro liaison and one of our staff coaches, and she is the third member of our oversight committee. Essentially, our committee is here to ensure that policies and protocols are in place, being followed, and we are your contact for if you have any COVID questions or if you need to notify the club because you have symptoms or have been ill. Now, when you registered, you completed a waiver for your skater within our registration system. So if you have symptoms of COVID and you become unwell while you're at the rink, we ask that the skater immediately stop participating in club activities and leave the facility. The facility, we have to inform the facility so they can determine if we need to do any additional cleaning. And a member of the COVID oversight committee will be notified. Most of the time, one of us is already at the arena, but if not, the coaches or the volunteers should notify us about it. So if you've been tested for COVID-19, please let the club know so that way we're aware that you've had symptoms, you're being tested, and we can watch for if other people on your session have symptoms. So you are not allowed to participate in club activity if you've been tested for COVID-19 and are required by the health unit to self-isolate or if you have symptoms of COVID. Any individual that is part of the club that has been tested and has no COVID-19 symptoms and no known exposure to COVID-19 can still participate. So those are people who get tested as part of routine testing, whether that's for a job or to visit a family member in long-term care or any other reason for that asymptomatic test. So if you test positive for COVID-19, you should follow the health unit regulations in terms of when you can return to sport. And you should also let the club know as soon as possible. So the health unit is very good at doing contact tracing, but if you let us know in advance, we can have everything ready for them and provide them with the details a little bit faster, hopefully stopping the spread a little bit faster. So if in the case that there is another COVID-19 outbreak, or we go into a lockdown, the club does have the right to stop activities and determine if we'll credit, refund. We just went through this. As you know, you guys are getting credits or refunds on your accounts, and our club administrator should have been in contact with you via email about that already. So please ensure that you are subscribed to our email so that you're getting that information. If you will not be in attendance, we ask that you notify club administrator at rideauskating.ca if you are in Cansgate. If you're in Future Stars, please notify Future Stars at rideauskating.ca. And if you're in Starskate, please let your coaches know. This is extremely important because we need to know if you are absent due to COVID or if you are absent for some other reason. We also want to let our volunteers know so that they're not standing at the door waiting for you to show up during the session and just thinking that you're late. So refunds will only be provided for medical reasons as outlined in the club's policy. And there are no makeup sessions for Cansgate or Future Star Group future stars or star group skaters. If there is a case of COVID-19 within the club, we are required to release the following information to the City of Ottawa and Ottawa Public Health: the name, the date, location, and time of sessions attended, the phone number and email of anyone who entered the facility during one of our sessions. So that includes both participants as well as the spectator for those participants under the age of 18. For anyone else, we would just have to release that there was a case. So for example, we have to notify Skate Ontario if there was a case within the club, and that is just for their tracking purposes, but we don't have to provide them with any names. So we have developed a communication plan, and this communication plan involves numerous email updates sent out to skaters and parents through our registration system, as well as posting things on YouTube, our social media, doing town halls and webinars. Usually we do a live town hall. Unfortunately, because of the holiday, that didn't work into our schedule this week, and all of our coaches are on the ice until later in the evening every day. So we weren't able to do a live town hall, which is why I'm doing this pre-recorded one now. So we are currently in the orange phase, which means that we are allowed 25 people on the ice, plus a maximum of 5 off-ice personnel. And only skaters under the age of 18 are allowed to have a spectator accompany them. And this is on a 1 participant to 1 spectator ratio. As I mentioned prior to this, you will not be allowed into the facility until you have been screened. We ask that all participants arrive fully dressed except for their skates, gloves, and helmet. Everyone entering the facility must be wearing a mask. There will be access to dressing rooms. However, there's no access to showers or water fountains, but you can refill a water bottle in the Manotick Arena. The parking lot is very slippery some days, so we do ask that you do put the skater skates on within the facility. Masks should be worn the entire time that you're in the facility. If, as a parent, you want to bring a drink in with you, you can do that. We ask that you drink it once you are sitting in the stands, and you pull down your mask, you take a sip of your drink, and you put your mask back up. This is extremely important, as by law is going out to the arenas to ensure that these regulations are being adhered to. And the organization that is in the arena and in charge of the arena at the time can lose all of their ice time if these regulations are not being adhered to. When in the facility and while on the ice, skaters should keep at least 2 meters distance from everyone. That means that our coaches and PAs this year will be hands-off coaching. It is difficult, and in the case of emergency, obviously we would have to help the skaters up, but for the most part, we will be encouraging them to get up by themselves and maintain that 2 meter distance. Once your session is over, you must exit the facility within 20 minutes. And as I mentioned, please exit the facility by turning left when you leave the dressing room, right at the end of the hallway, and then left out the door before you would go up the stairs. If you have any questions, please reach out to covid@rideauskating.ca. If you have questions specific to the CanSkate program and not the COVID protocols, please reach out to Margot at clubadministrator@rideauskating.ca. Thanks, and We look forward to seeing you all on the ice this week.